a lot of people see the front main point of contact for a mortgage company and really any business. You see the salesperson, the person who's running the company, the person who's out in front. But a lot of people don't realize that they can do that because they have a lot of people behind the scenes that are really supporting them. And as a mortgage loan officer, they have a lot of people behind them that maintain the business so that they can really focus on pushing forward. And Paul talks about how he utilizes his team, and it allows him to run really fast as a mortgage loan officer. So check out this conversation if you're interested to learn how you can operate your team more efficiently so that you too can grow your business like Paul. You talk about systems within the way you operate, and I know that you're a regional manager.
So I'm a producing branch manager.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
and you work out of the Slido office, and you have loan officers that you're bringing in, and you have loan officers on your team.
Yes.
And so it's important, as a business owner, and running a team, that in order for you to be able to bring on people and have them be able to operate efficiently, that you have to have a team of people around you that follow a specific process so that you can operate the way that you operate. And then the people you bring in can also leverage that too.
Absolutely. And look, when it comes to recruiting, I find that, man, let me tell you, if it's not LinkedIn, it's Facebook messages. If it's not Facebook messages, it's text messages of, every mortgage company in America. When you achieve some success, right, and you stay consistent over time with production, they have access to all the information, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's just, I call it very cheesy way because, first of all, I'm... It's headhunting, right? But I've always found when it comes to recruiting, it's more about attracting, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than going after someone, right? And to me, if you've got the systems in place, most of our processors are what's called decision certified, which means they have the ability to sign off on certain conditions. Where when it gets to an underwriter's desk, it may come down to just the underwriter reviewing the appraisal, basically overlooking the income, making sure that it's good, and then signing off. That streamlines the process dramatically when we've given that ability for our processors they're called decision certified, to be able to make decisions on certain conditions.
These processors are in your office?
So no. So all of our processors, our company is a very hybrid company. So I would say that we may have 50% of our staff that's working remote out of their home office, right? And we're good with that, right? Yeah. Because first of all, I don't, and you guys may agree to disagree, I don't find that there's any such thing as work-life balance. I call it work-life integration, right? Because the environment we're in post-COVID, it's all about integrating work in life and vice versa, right? At times, especially when the agent calls you at 8 o'clock on a random Thursday night and says, I need a pre-qualification letter. Are you busy?
or 10 or 11 o'clock at night or on a Sunday.
Right. Yeah. But back to your point, recruiting is huge for us. And I think we have a value proposition that hits all the green buttons for the right loan officer, right? Someone who wants to be supported, someone who wants a local presence, a local manager who is vested 7 days a week. And yes, I said that out loud, 7 days a week. That's how I serve my people, my team. They know they can get me anytime, right? I'll be in church traditionally, depending on what mass I go to, but before 12 o'clock on Sundays, you're not going to probably get me. After that, I'm game on, anybody needs anything. But when it comes to, we are definitely looking to add to our teams in Louisiana and Mississippi. I think we have a very good value proposition. We've got over 400 loan products. We've got the non-QMs. We've got 18 different renovation purchase solutions for all types. And of course, we do all the traditional, right? Yeah. Fannie, Freddie, FHA, VA, and USDA. But I think what really sets us apart, is our one team, one purpose culture. So we're a big company nationwide. We lend in all 50 states because we are tied to Plains Capital Bank.
Oh, cool!
And so that gives us a federal exemption to be able to lend across the United States. There are some states that still require state licensing, but that helps an agent who maybe has a seller relocating to North Carolina or relocating somewhere outside of our area to know that there's that Paul's going to take good care of them and make make sure they land safely on the other side, right? And Paul's going to take care of them. Paul's not going to refer it to, you know, a teammate in North Carolina because the relationship is with the agent here. So I do find that that's important because a lot of loan officers are required to just maintain state licensing, and they may only be licensed to lend in Louisiana or Mississippi, or if they've expanded, maybe Florida, Alabama, kind of the Gulf Coast states. But to me, it just to have, and not, I still maintain my state license. I just, once we got it, I still do it every single year. But federally, I don't have to.
So you don't, your office is not, because when you're in Slidell, you get a lot of people who have, you know, they have their Louisiana agents or Mississippi agents.
Yes.
So, but you guys, they don't have to go and get the state because of, with
That's
you guys?
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
because we're tied. We're one of our partners is Plains Capital Bank, you know, but we are the mortgage entity, and we have a really good relationship with them and have been. I mean, Prime's been in business for 35 years, and all we do is mortgage. Like, we don't sell widgets, you know, we don't sell you know, insurance. I mean, so we have to be good at it, right, in order to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Well, to continue to grow.
So, but I mean, so I know we've talked a lot about, you know, during this conversation about your mindset in business, and when we talk about recruiting somebody in, the first thing that we do is make sure that you're a value fit, right? I mean, that's the most important thing. Because you might be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't fit the culture and the values that we want to embody as a team, then you're going to stand like a sore thumb. And I know that's important to you.
Incredibly important.
You know, as these episodes are delivered, I don't want somebody to miss the boat by not seeing one of the other videos about how important it is to you to have a giver's mindset and looking for a lender who's there to put the client's perspective first.
Without a doubt, and the culture you know, everyone talks about culture. It's like, can you get a haircut over the phone? No, you gotta be in the seat to be able to experience it, and that's what culture is, right? So it's hard to sell culture, you know, to what I would say is a high quality prospect, if you will. But I try to get to know them. I ask them a lot of questions. I do try to poke at their value system, right? Because, you know, but also with social media these days, it's hard not to know who they are when they're not, you know, doing mortgage loans, right? So there's, you know, many times that I've been very interested in you know, having someone at least to have a conversation with us that I didn't even make the phone call, after spending some time, you know, looking at their social channels and seeing that they're just not, you know, consistently putting out what I would say resonates with our core values, not just as a company, but who we are, right? And that's one of the things I'm super proud of is that, you know, when you tend to match yourself with a company's culture, with your personal value system to a T. I mean, I'm talking about, there's not one of them that just kind of crosses out that we don't emulate, or on the personal side, how we run our business. You know, I'm very protective of our culture. So there's been a lot of opportunities that we've had, you know, some really high quality top producers that we've had to say no to because just we did not feel it would be a great culture fit.
And your staff feels that way too. I mean, because I mean, what we do, being in the front and doing these types of things, having conversations with people, generating business, there's people behind the scenes that allow us to do that.
Absolutely.
And if you plug in the wrong person to that system, and they start pushing those people running the wrong way, those people sacrifice a lot.
That's
true.
true.
A lot of time and energy into it.
Or you may lose those people.
And you might lose the good support that you have by bringing on somebody who might put in a couple extra dollars, and now your life's much more difficult. And
it is.
And as a manager and a leader of people, when you have the wrong value system or fit with somebody you're trying to lead and manage, it ends up taking a lot of time away from a producing.
Man, you bring up, Jared, you just hit the point, right? So you may have, you know, let's call it, you know, 100% culture focused individuals doing their part, their job, the system and the process is flowing and humming, right? And you bring maybe someone who's not the best culture fit. Maybe they in the previous company they blow up processors and underwriters and yes, they get a lot of business and maybe their social is not very consistent with the core values. You bring that into your family, your work family, and it could be a major retention challenge, right? So yeah, I'm very, very, very protective of our work culture.